The humanitarian organisation Plan International is among those working in Lebanon to support people affected by the explosion. Colin Lee is Plan International's country director for Lebanon, and he joins me now from Beirut. Thank you very much for joining ABC News. I understand yesterday's blast has injured staff from your own office. How are they?
Yeah, we had two injuries, two injuries on Tuesday's bombing. None, thankfully, too serious. We had one that was stitched up on Tuesday evening from flying glass. There's still quite a lot of it going around at the moment, but thankfully they're okay.
Were they injured in your office? Was there much damage there?
Yeah, there was a huge amount of damage, like most of Beirut, to the office. Windows, doors blown in and blown out. Parts of the office and parts of buildings that you didn't think would move, moved. So they were on their way home from the office at the time to their houses. We were just about to go into a COVID-19 lockdown, another lockdown in Lebanon, because the caseload is increasing when this happened. So luckily, in some ways, it was lucky that it was at 6 p.m. or after 6 p.m. as opposed to an hour before.
Talk to us about the scale of this disaster and the challenge ahead for organisations such as yours.
Yeah, I think, I'm in my kitchen at the moment because I've got people working outside. Our windows were blown in full. Our doors, some of our doors came off, a complete mess, and we're 1.5 kilometres from the blast scene. So you can imagine buildings closer to there. Some of them have fallen down. Others will have to be taken down. I think the immediate response needs are food, shelter for many people. But as you mentioned, your reporter mentioned at the beginning, we've been going through a pretty turmoil sort of time period here since October of last year with devaluation of the currency. So, to have this come on top, people don't have insurance here. They don't have social security sort of safety net that you might have in Australia and other countries. So you're down on your luck if your apartment has been affected. So one of the advantages is, compared to other emergency responses, the access to the area is pretty good. We're not having to wade through sort of, areas that would be really difficult. It's accessible. But the scale of it is just beyond. I mean, it's gone 15 kilometres out from the port area. I talked to friends who were 10, 12 kilometres outside, whose windows were broken as well. So you can imagine that the source of the explosion, also the port area itself, is critically important, not just for Lebanon, but for Syria as well. And the grain stores down there have been blown up as well.
We understand that the estimated damage in terms of infrastructure is being valued at multiple billions of dollars. Has anyone tried to put a figure on the immediate on how much will be needed for immediate aid or needs such as food and shelter?
There'll be a series of appeals over the coming days. The mayor of Beirut stated yesterday evening that his estimates were between 200,000 and 300,000 people needed shelter. Now that might be on the high side of things, but it will give you an idea of the damage done to buildings. It's going to go into the billions. It's very difficult to put a figure on it now at this stage. But as I said, we've been going through this crisis, so it's not like it just happened. We've had COVID, we've had the economic, social and political meltdown since October of last year, and we joked about it a couple of weeks ago about how much how much more pain the Lebanese could take, and it's just come to fruition now.
Is Lebanon in a position to pay for any of those immediate needs, or is that all going to have to come from charitable appeals and from the goodwill of other countries?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to have to come from other countries. Lebanon needs cash. It needs it now, and it's going to need it for the foreseeable future. We have a debt of $85 billion a public debt here. It's grown and grown. There's been mismanagement and corruption for many, many years here. So the international community are going to have to be relied on in this instance to provide support and assistance for that. There isn't money in the country. Unfortunately, there's a large number of international organisations, including Plan International, who are here and able to respond as much as possible to this disaster. But this is on a scale that we couldn't have imagined.
Plan International focuses on empowering girls and safeguarding their rights. How will this disaster affect girls in Beirut?
Yeah, hugely. We'd actually done a survey 2 years ago on refugee girls, because we've got between 1 and 1.5 million Syrian refugees in Lebanon. And we'd done a survey looking at it, of what their needs and their protection needs were. So, this will be huge. It's our main mandate to take care of girls and women. We will do everything that we possibly can, starting today with our national partners in Beirut, to provide assistance and ensure that suitable child protection, shelters and immediate food assistance really is what people need.
Colin Lee, terrific to speak to you. We're very glad that you are already on the mend. We'll check back in with you in the coming weeks.
Thank you very much.